Welcome back to 340 Paddler, and today I want to discuss some quick tips, some things that really don't need an entire video on a single topic, but I do want to cover them here and let you know what they are. So we're going to go through a number of different ideas today. First of all, lighting the cockpit. Obviously, when you're in the boat, you oftentimes need, especially at night, to see what you're grabbing for. So this could be a kayak, a canoe. You want to know where that gel pack is, or where your pee bottle is, or whatever else. And the answer is a red glow stick. Red will prevent you from losing your night vision. And it's a quick and easy solution. Crack it, throw it in the bottom. It'll have a nice red glow. You'll see everything that you need. Second, avoid caffeine. Now, this is one of those issues that applies to people who don't drink caffeine regularly, or people who might be trying to use more caffeine than they usually would. The problem here is, as soon as you hit that caffeine, you might as well start a stopwatch for about 5 hours. 5 hours after you hit it, you'd better be finished or to whatever checkpoint you're trying desperately to get to, because you're going to crash. Caffeine has limited use on the 340 until you get to the very, very end, and then for emergency circumstances. It will cause hallucinations to be worse, and it will cause you to crash much harder. You'll be much more tired after you take it, once you come off of it, than you were when you took it initially. Next, I see this every year, people wearing expensive clothes. You go out and you buy the latest, greatest rash guard or whatever else, and maybe it's $40 or $50. And the problem is, this is what's going to happen to it. This was my first or second year at the 340. This started as a white rash guard, and to this day, hundreds of washings later, it still hasn't recovered. And oftentimes you'll want to simply burn the clothes. They smell horrible. They've been in the Missouri River. They've been on your stinking body for 3 days. Just burn them. Go to Walmart, go to Amazon, buy a $10 rash guard, be done with it. Assume that you will only ever use it once. Next, tie everything down. Every year, someone will have a 2 a.m. rummage sale. And this sounds a lot better than it really is. Basically, what you want to do is make sure that everything that you have in the boat is secured in one way or another. It might be Velcro, it might be tied down, who knows. But you don't want to lose a $150 comfortable seat because you didn't tie it down. So make sure everything is secured. Next, keep your phone out of the sun. The problem is, if your phone bakes in the sun too much, well, you're going to end up overheating the phone. And it's not that it's going to necessarily blow up, but it's not going to be functional when you need it. So try and keep your phone in a bit of shade. Next, wear light colors. This one should be fairly obvious, but every year there are some people who will come out wearing black or dark blue and suffer for that decision. You don't want to be one of them. Be like all or most of these people. When you look at this picture, you see an enormous number of people wearing white and white and white. I mean, you can wear yellow and orange, maybe even red, something up to sort of a neutral gray value. You don't want to go beyond that. You don't want to absorb heat into your clothes. It will be intensely uncomfortable. Next, and this doesn't apply to everyone, but avoid too much sugar and high fructose corn syrup. This causes nausea every year in a certain number of people. And it kind of comes down to how much are you used to. Now, when you think about it, most of those sports drinks and gels and goos and everything else that we consume are based on sugar. And the problem is the stomach can only process so much sugar at a time. It needs a certain amount of water or other materials in order to process it. So if you're living on Gatorade, it could cause nausea. And it could be day 1, it could be day 2. Maybe it doesn't happen to you. But this is person to person. And keep in mind when you're using these different mixes that in some cases the sugar may be sugar, but it may also be different forms such as maltodextrin or dextrose or whatever else. So this one is one that you need to practice beforehand and see how your stomach handles it. And finally, for this group of quick tips, Velcro. Velcro is your friend. You're going to use Velcro to outfit your boat, to attach the lighting systems, to attach all sorts of things to the boat that you want to be able to remove at some point in the future. Obviously, you don't want to epoxy everything to the boat. Very impractical. And the Velcro that most of us are getting is the Velcro tape you can get down at Walmart or Home Depot, where it's going to have about 10 pounds of hold. That is more than enough to hold on a light or most anything else. You can use the really heavy duty industrial type Velcro if you're attaching, say, an outrigger. Most of this works beautifully, but make sure that that Velcro is attached at least 48 hours ahead and that you put a little bit of a weight on it if possible for 24 hours, because the adhesive takes about 24 hours to work. So that has been some quick tips. There may be more quick tip videos to come. This is 340 Paddler, hoping that you keep your paddle in the water.